Have you ever wondered what it truly takes to change your life? Is it luck, talent, or something deeper, like the courage to see yourself differently? Today I'll tell you the story of a beggar who transformed his life not through wealth or connections, but by changing his mindset. So stay with me till the end, because this story might just change how you see your own potential. At a crowded railway station in a bustling city, a man sat on the cold stone floor every day. His clothes were tattered, his face weathered by hardship. This beggar lived off the generosity of the passengers hurrying to board their trains, stretching out his hand in hope of a few coins. Life was predictable but empty, and he had long accepted his fate until one fateful day when everything changed. The meeting that planted a seed. As the sun filtered through the smoke of the trains, the beggar noticed a tall man walking briskly along the platform. The man wore an immaculate suit and carried himself with an air of success. He stood out like a king among commoners. The beggar thought, this man must be rich. If I ask him for alms, he'll surely give me a generous amount. Summoning courage, the beggar approached him, hand outstretched, and said, "Kind sir, spare some change for a poor man?" The tall man stopped, his sharp eyes meeting the beggar's. But instead of reaching into his pocket, he asked, "Tell me, do you ever give anything to anyone?" The beggar was stunned. "Sir, I am a beggar. I have nothing to give. How could someone like me offer anything?" The man smiled faintly and said, "If you have nothing to give, then you have no right to ask. I am a businessman. In my world, you give something and in return you receive something. Think about it." Without another word, the man boarded his train, leaving the beggar standing there, his mind swirling with confusion. The seed begins to grow. The beggar couldn't forget the man's words. How can a beggar give anything? He thought. I have nothing, but maybe that's why people give me so little, because I offer them nothing in return. For 2 days he wrestled with this thought. Then on the third day, while sitting near the station, he noticed something he had never paid attention to before. Flowers blooming on wild bushes nearby. Their vibrant colors caught his eye and an idea struck him. What if I give these flowers to people who give me alms? Maybe a small gesture will make them happier to help me. The experiment begins. Excited, the beggar gathered some flowers and returned to the platform. That day when someone gave him money, he smiled and handed them a flower in return. The passengers were surprised but delighted. What a lovely gesture, some said. Soon word spread about the beggar who gave flowers, and more people began to seek him out. For the first time in his life, the beggar felt a sense of pride. He was no longer just asking, he was giving something back. A new problem arises, but as his popularity grew, so did his challenges. The wildflowers around the station weren't enough to meet the demand. Some days when he ran out of flowers, people gave him nothing. This sparked another realization. If I want to keep growing, I can't rely on what's already here. I need to find a way to grow my own flowers. Months later, while handing out flowers on a train, the beggar's heart skipped a beat. The tall man who had inspired him was sitting by the window, engrossed in a newspaper. The beggar approached him eagerly. "Sir, today I have something to give you, a flower. In return, give me whatever you wish." The tall man looked up, surprised, and then smiled. He handed the beggar some money and accepted the flower. "Well done," he said. "You've become a businessman." The beggar's chest swelled with pride, but the man's next words hit him like a revelation. "But remember," the man said, "you are not just a beggar who gives flowers. You are a trader, an entrepreneur. Embrace that identity and the world will see you differently." The turning point. For the first time, the beggar saw himself in a new light. "I'm not a beggar anymore. I'm a businessman." With this newfound confidence, he decided to leave the station. He found a small patch of land and began growing his own flowers. Slowly, his little trade turned into a thriving business. 6 months later, at the same station, 2 well-dressed men met. One of them extended his hand. "Do you recognize me?" The other man looked puzzled. "No, I don't think so." The first man smiled. "I am the beggar you met months ago. Your words changed my life. Today, I am a successful businessman in the flower industry." The tall man nodded, impressed. "You've done well. I only showed you the way, but it was your determination that brought you here." The moral of the story. This story is not just about a beggar or a businessman. It's about the power of seeing yourself differently. When you believe you're small, the world treats you as small. But the moment you see yourself as capable of greatness, the world begins to open its doors. Success doesn't start with wealth or opportunity. It starts with a mindset shift. Give and you shall receive. Think big, act boldly, and watch your life transform. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.